I then asked Dupe how old he was, to which Dupe claims 17 yet again. This was then followed by Dupe the next day, sharing a statement on the 26th of March admitting that he lied about his age the entire time. Dupe is also someone who is extremely and bigoted, and at the time I didn't understand why they were so edgy and didn't take things seriously at all. I find it absolutely disgusting that members of Pyrocynical's subreddit shared these allegations. Anyone who even requests for evidence is just mass downvoted and ignored. It really is a hive mind of people desperately willing to discredit me in a desperate sense of damage control. As for Pyrocynical's subreddit, I feel like you all need to do a massive background check on how some of you act, especially in regards to how many of you openly post furry in the subreddit with absolutely no consequence.
There is finally peace in this war. Good morning everyone, get ready for a splendid Tuesday. One drama I've been invested in recently is the Parlo allegations, which has been propagated by huge communities like the Pyrocynical subreddit. My last two videos were number 1, summarizing drama, and number 2, seeing it get more attention as other people start covering it. One thing I've been excited for is seeing Parlo's own response, because admittedly, I think it's innocent, therefore a response wouldn't really sway my opinion. But now that has come out, I will say, he cooked. The boy done cooked. But even though I believe he made a pretty compelling argument for why he's innocent, I think it's insane how throughout all of this, he hasn't dropped his beef with the Pyro subreddit. Not even once. Like for example, he will prove that the accuser, Dupe, intentionally misconstrued the evidence to make it look more real, only for him to blame the Redditors for believing it, when in reality, they just reacted to what was given to them at the time. Some Redditors were crazy, yes I do admit, but the majority of them are just small fry. But with that said, I think a good 70 or 80% of his new video is well put together. So there's this new video called The Truth, very good title, and it has a couple of sections. Number 1, of course, being the biggest, Dupe, and those insane allegations. Bro, okay, I'm gonna say right now, it's insane that all of this came from a fucking crazy 12-year-old that he was talking to on Discord. That's insane. And after that, he talks about Karatana, because as it turns out, people that were talking about his allegations, they're using evidence of him talking to another 13-year-old, not sexually, God no, but using that as proof, trying to misconstrue it as him talking to Dupe, sexually in a way. It made no sense, and then after that, it's talking more about the UTTP, that insane community slandering him and making fake evidence to tarnish him, right? And after that, more about, okay, there are other people I have no idea about, Nafrix and Homotopia, whatever. So I'll watch more of this section, because it's really interesting, and then I'll dip into this section after Katana, but let's get into it. I'll go into easily with this section about how Dupe would barely show his face or show any selfies, and whatever he did show were fake altered images, to make a real believable character.
After I was able to properly confirm what Dupe looked like, because Dupe would always be extremely reluctant to ever reveal his voice and call when we played games together, and was also reluctant to share any selfies. With logs provided, I was always very inquisitive to hear what he sounded like. I would always tell him, dude, I want to try and hear what you sound like. I did not want to meet with anyone.
Well, guys, if you want to believe someone's a catfish or a fake or whatever, if they say the mic sucks ass, don't believe that. Because if they're on the phone or desktop or on the webcam, most devices have pretty good microphones. So that's
unless I could be sure of their age and what they look like, for specifically the fact that I may be catfished. And keep in mind too, Dupe is on record in DMs with me admitting to have created fake doc spins of himself with fake selfies, in which he used to convince me into thinking that he looked like a totally different person.
Oh my, wait, hold on, is that fucking, what was his name? Is that Willem, that fucking Minecraft YouTuber? Bro, that has to be him, just with the hair, the eyes, in a way, behind the pixels, it looks like him, whatever. Oh, that's so funny as well. Out of all the fucking fake images he picked, it was this fake one. Wait, I basically crafted the doc to fool you. Again, then going fast forward, which around 4 minutes, he re-summarizes the apology he made. And you have to read this real quick, because it breaks down the allegations of how, he intentionally did it, when, Dupe himself apologized for lying in his own confession. Just look at this.
Off his about himself to me. This was then followed by Dupe the next day, sharing a statement on the 26th of March admitting that he lied about his age the entire time, and video proof is shown right now proving that this is real. Now in this statement he made,
But real quick, I think some people believe in this, in the Pyro subreddit. They may be dumb, because this section alone should be enough to break it down. Any allegation being made would be, just immediately stopped from this, because he admits to lying immediately and saying sorry. Look, sorry twice, and he says sorry 10 times for this whole confession.
acknowledged the
short
fact that it would
paragraphs.
screw with me mentally, as well as him apologizing for essentially lying about his age and catfishing me for an extended period of time, while ending his statement off profusely apologizing once again. Now, in regards to his apology, time revealed that that evidently wasn't the case and he wasn't actually sorry, because immediately what followed was Dupe going behind my back to leak these messages not only on his own account, but also to bad actors such as UTTP members, who then started using these DMs out of context to harass me.
Okay, I'm gonna say right now, it blows my mind how insane this is, right? It's not, the allegations, but just the person behind it, the victim, the accuser, the exposer. Dupe was fucking 12, and I get like a bizarre roadmap for this stuff. I'm not sure if he got it with Parlo intentionally to expose him, or because he actually, romanticized for him, but whatever. He lied to him about his age, he got romantic with him, and then he exposed him after. Bro, this kid is fucking terrifying. I want to call him a piece of shit, but you have to remember, he's 12. He's a little kid. I have no idea what's going on. All I hope for him is that he gets some help. He gets some help, and he gets every device taken away from him. His smartphone, his computer, everything. This kid terrifies me,
I find it absolutely disgusting that members of Pyrocynical's subreddit shared these allegations without actually consulting my side first, and instead harassed me and defamed me for extended periods of time.
Right, the one point I disagree with Parlo is this section. How dare they believe this, How dare they now reach out to me? Okay, let me be honest. If you're a big commentary channel like me, you should do that, because if you propagate allegations, believe in them, and they turn out to be false, then you look like a moron. But if you're like some random club shitter on Reddit, who gives a shit about what you're saying? Most people on the internet, on Reddit, they log onto their favorite subreddit, they look at the big stuff, the big post, they give it a like or a down or whatever, and then they log off. They don't give a shit about the small, fine parts of the drama. Because if you go back real quick, he breaks down, why all the evidence in this post by Dupe, it was all fake, right? It was misconstrued. Because at no point does he show the part where he confessed to lying at all. But even then, he gets angry with the Redditors for believing it, when in reality, he should be more angry at Dupe or like a big channel covering this, if they do a bad job. But how can you be angry, at random nobodies, random morons on Reddit just believing this? They get, a lot of votes, but if you do a good enough job at debunking it, then who gives a shit? You prove them wrong. They're dumb. Oh, and this part as well.
Extended periods of time to deflect away from Pyrocynical's allegations. Even worse for them was the fact that the Google Drive link of all these DMs in which Dupe shares literally proves himself to be a liar.
That is true, right? But what's that part about? They believe this, to deflect from Pyro's allegations. Really? Have you been on the Parlo subreddit? They hate him, right? They would break away from him if you proved that he was actually guilty from drama from 4 years ago. But being like, oh my god, they're shitting on me to deflect from Pyro. They love him so much. He's repeated his point to fucking ad nauseum, non-stop, every single time, in this drama. He brought up fucking Guamgo's comments for his video, and even now below, his own fucking comments. Look, Pyro's subreddit has been lying, defaming, and attacking small content creators for years, completely unchallenged, in order to deflect the topic away from Pyro's numerous victims. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, right? This drama is at the center, right? You could lose your career. Why are you still going after Pyro? It just makes no sense. And if you don't believe these people are just biased for him, then show an actual good sense of being like, oh, we love Pyro, we would never believe these allegations against him from Parlo. But like I said before, most of them are just reacting to what they were given at the time, not really looking into it like you would. Also, real quick, pull up the fucking screen recording that Dupe provided. Look, you could find proof of Dupe lying, but look at it real quick. It scrolls up so fast. Nobody in the right mind, unless they're a commentary channel, a researcher, nobody would go frame by frame reading all these messages to see the one where they said they were 17 or that about being 17. Nobody would do that, okay? So drop those standards, Parlo. Okay, I'm being a bit too mean, but like I said before, there was some parts in this video that were really well put together. Because for example, one big point of contention for me was about the age being in the bio, and how there would be a dead giveaway. But like it's in this video, in this section, that was also debunked as being false.
Now, one of the main screenshots that have been provided that bad actors use against me is the fact that Dupe made his age present in his Twitter bio as 13, negating to mention the fact that he added his age into his Twitter bio after he admitted to me in DMs that he lied about his age. This is even something James Sir admitted to, who is someone who Dupe is closely associated with. In Twitter messages, which have also been recorded to prove their legitimacy, Dupe is seen admitting that he lied about being 17, to not only me, but to also James Sir, and private Twitter messages even prove the fact that I cut off Dupe after he revealed his actual age to me.
Yeah, that's what I was like worried about this, but then I realized, why would he say all this stuff about breaking away if hypothetically he knew his age from the beginning? Just makes no sense. It makes more sense now because before in the past I had no idea that this poster of this, this one subreddit was Dupe himself. OK channel is Dupe, So he intentionally fucking what a bizarre worm. He put his own age in his bio, just screenshot it and put his this debunking, this exposed post, just like reading it at Parlo. I really want to call them malicious. I want to call them insane, but like bear in mind again, they're 12 years old. They're just not right in the head. They need help. Okay, but this next section, oh my god, it's so goddamn funny. Because I think Parlo went from, debunking Dupe to exposing him as being a worse person, because he lied to Parlo, but furthermore, he shared potentially, he shared CP gifs and also made very racist memes on his Discord. My god, this guy Parlo had the fucking heat for his accuser, Dupe.
By allowing the Pyrocynical subreddit to spread these lies against me to deflect away from Niall's own allegations, in which will be covered very soon. And keep in mind too, Dupe doesn't have the best history either. In DMs, he had randomly
it's so smug. Dupe himself doesn't have the best history.
What he claimed to be vehemently claiming that it was, and that the person he originally got it from, the original poster, even claimed it was himself. I was disgusted of course by this, and clearly extremely uncomfortable as you can see in the messages, and I proceeded to report his account. Dupe is also
once again, I feel bad for Parlo, but it doesn't make any sense. So you're concerned enough to block him, or not block him, but report him on Discord, but simultaneously you still talk with him. Oh no, let me check the time real quick. Okay, never mind. This happened recently, actually. I think they were talking back in March, they were talking back in last year, 24, and now, the timeline makes sense. So, Dupe shared, a very bad gif, or he shared a link, something fucked up, and now around that time, that's when, when Dupe came out as confessing to him, as lying for his age. Okay, never mind, I take it back.
Message is also someone who is extremely...
Bro, this stuff is so funny, Okay, once again, I feel bad for this kid, because he's 12 years old, but also, this shit he shares is so fucking insane.
And bigoted.
So, oh my god, when you... when you throw dynamite at a and it wait, what blows up? Oh yeah, that's well. Fucking Parlo, he senses every bad thing potentially, because he senses blows. The N word, that makes sense, but blows. Is that problematic? His head off. Yes. Nazi. Oh my god. He senses the Nazi symbol, but he also senses the word Nazi. Why? Who gives a shit?
And at the time, I didn't
I was saying, Dupe. I mean, I know how to... What? Barehanded easily. I'm always... Who the fuck is this guy? I'm always soft though while fighting cause I could go in jail if you see me in full mode as... What? I could go crazy. You need to punch the bridge of the nose into the fucking brain, killing them and putting them brain. What are you talking about? The brain, so if you aren't 2 seconds away from a hospital, you are dead. Bro, what is this censoring? It makes no sense. I think I'm a psychopath for watching gag? What does that mean? Wanna hear what I'm about to say? Sure. Recreate it. Huh?
Understand.
Okay, I wanna look more racist. This is so insane, dude. This CIA, he said, oh my god, please shut up, you ugly fucking faggot retard. There's a reason people don't fucking like you. Oh my god. Once again, the best I hope for this kid, this 12-year-old, is that he gets off the internet for good, forever. Go fucking live in the mountains. My god. Okay, now fast forward, we go to the Cartana section about how he had some DMs about another user. However, in the Pyro subreddit, that was on Twitter as well, that was being misconstrued as like him talking about Dupe, because he had one bit where he said, here on screen, I knew he was 13, and from there, it became a snowball about how he's guilty. This section actually, I'll let him explain, but for me, this probably made no sense.
Now, another screenshot which people tried to originally use against me because they believed it was in reference to Dupe was actually me speaking to Dupe in private DMs about someone else named Katanana. At the time, I stated how I believed that they were 13, but as I will disclose later, he was actually 14, and the age gap between us was 2 years 1 month, according to Katanana himself. Now, this screenshot was maliciously twisted by members of Pyrocynical's subreddit
in the video OP attached with all the DMs, he admits you sending sexual DMs to a 13-year-old when he was 16 or 17. No wonder he's trying to take down Pyro. He's projecting hard, lol.
Claiming that this was some other I dated and was with, and therefore alluded to me.
I like how he's just trying to sweep these messages under the rug. I bet there's probably more to it. I haven't finished looking through all the logs yet.
Me being some sort of serial when this was literally not the case at all.
Okay, so they were seeing like this number 13 and they were like, oh my god, he must be referring to Dupe and not somebody else, when that wasn't the case, I suppose. And also, to be clear, nothing bad happened between Parlo and Katana. It was completely fine from what he's claiming in his video.
One had actually read my initial statement. I mean, it's right there. You could clearly see me state that I had no attraction to them whatsoever.
Dude, good man. You're 13. I legally cannot disclose
that I did not know their date of birth because I was not interested in dating them, and instead I was dating someone else called Burger at the time. Also, by examining...
Okay, this part makes sense. Keep that name in mind, Burger, because that was like his boyfriend, whatever, on Discord.
The messages, you can clearly see...
That was Paul's boyfriend, I mean.
That I also stated that Katanana themselves claimed I never of them, and that YouTubers I consulted with in regards to this situation claimed I did nothing wrong themselves.
Yeah, that makes no sense, Big YouTuber, really? But I can't fucking tell you with the censor. Like, I think Parlo went way too far in censoring. Cause they're like small swear words, that barely affect anything. But I guess, for the sake of like having the video monetized, he censored them when they're barely offensive at best.
To further add credibility to my story, I stated in these messages how I got Katanana out of a possible relationship with Burger.
That makes no sense, dude. Okay, so he was dating this guy Burger, right? And I think it was after he broke up with them, he was stopping Katana from going out with Burger because it says right here, and he was 13 and told people to never take advantage of him. And I got him dating out with Burger. Okay, I think this is what he's referencing to on Twitter, being like, I saved the kid from being groomed. This has to be it, because otherwise, what the fuck is he on about? I probably sound unhinged, but my point being that before, he would really flex about, himself, that he saved the kid from being groomed from his ex-boyfriend or, current boyfriend at the time. Like, it was just insane. But apart from that tiny funny thing, right, nothing bad happened. But I would say, this part of the video, this section about Katana is so funny, because then he pulls up like an interview he had with him, where he made him confess that nothing bad happened. Like, it wasn't, forceful, it wasn't, like blackmailing him, but it's so funny, like him being like, okay, just say to the microphone how nothing bad happened between us.
2022, you always used to tell me you were 13 years old.
Yeah, no, that was actually a lie. It was because I had like a really high voice back then, so I used to tell people
he really hawks on him for lying about being 13, when in reality, he's 14. Like, lying about 1 year? Who gives a shit?
13 to be able to I don't know, I guess it was just like more like attention seeking back then when I was young, cause I don't know why. It was just, like I said, I was weird back then. I wasn't the best mentally. I was always confused, lying, weird.
So I never did you, right?
Okay, I'm not sure if that's how it went in the call or if it was edited, but it's so funny, like him being like, yeah, when I was a kid, I was very okay, fuck that shit. Admit on camera that I did not, take advantage of you. It's just funny in general.
I would remember that.
Also, he treats a review like a fucking goldfish. Like he places audio clip, of it. I mean, there's no evidence, that he took advantage of him, but then furthermore, he gets a call with him and also put boldly in text, color coded, that Katana, as his Apollo, did not date or take advantage of him. Oh, bro, he censored advantage. Are you fucking kidding? Be for real, dude. So this part of the video, I mean, it's completely fine, it's completely clean, but it's so funny, how worried he is about all this stuff. I mean, there was no real, backed up allegation, but even then, he goes this far for a tiny rumor that went nowhere. For his own security, whatever. But yeah, that's really it so far. The last few sections are about UTP and the the Naphorix and Homotopia drama from fuck knows when. The UTP those people are crazy, because as Parlo pointed out, when that drama broke out from Dupe on the Pyro subreddit, even they were taking advantage of it, like they were making fake evidence to make it even worse. And bro, these people, the UTTP, they're fucking unhinged, because around before like a different drama, they told people on Twitter to cut the name Parlo on the skin. They're fucking insane. Like, that's like a big point of contention, because random people on this subreddit, beneath this post, they would reference them, UTTP, as an actual, source of evidence to believe them, when most of the time, everything they make is fake, it's altered, it's photoshopped. So I will admit that anybody on the Reddit post that reference UTTP as like a reliable piece of evidence, they're fucking morons, okay? Don't trust them, they're not very smart. And then the last section, Naphorix and Homotopia, I don't really care about it, because, it's very old drama, but, Paul made a pretty good point, how even people in the subreddit, they brought that up, as a point of contention, be like, oh, he might be innocent in this drama, however, please remember that he fucked up, in a drama with Homotopia back like 2 years ago, and even then, like that was being debunked, but even now in this current age, after it was debunked, people still bring it up, to tear him down for whatever reason. So those people that reference, UTTP and debunked dramas from God knows when, those people are dumb. But like I said before, the average person that sees this, I don't blame for believing it, because Dupe, fucking twisted the evidence, to make it look real, to make it seem like Parlo knew the age and kept talking with them no matter what. Like I said before as well, these people on this Reddit post are nobodies. Why do you care about what they said? Like this post is big, there's only 3k likes. If it went public on Twitter, if it got like hundreds of thousands of likes, that would be an issue. But like, it's a very dumb post that, probably after this video, it'll be taken down or, edited by the mods, because, it's just false allegations. So who really cares? Yeah, but once again, this video by Parlo is pretty good. Like, if you watch the Quango video, like I did, it's very similar to this, but maybe a step better, because Parlo talks himself, about all the evidence, that he had and how Dupe lied. The last section I want to laugh at, because it's so fucking bizarre, is how he takes one final dig at Niall and fucking the Pyro subreddit. Like, look at this shit.
Pyrocynical subreddit don't actually wish to consult my side or read my side of the situation. The document is in there, it has all the proof, and they just don't bother reading it, and instead only wish to continuously lie about me regardless. I wouldn't be surprised after this video if they just continue to peddle these lies or just create new ones and take absolutely zero accountability for their actions whatsoever. And I think this comment explains the mentality of most of the members in their subreddit. Even if Dupe is lying, I don't care. Parlo deserves to be dragged through the mud. I said my piece and debunked the false
To be fair, to be 100% transparent, I think those people, should be corrected, having a mod being like, hey, listen, you're wrong about this. But I think most of them are like the average internet user, where, they make some random comment and they log off, they don't really look into it, like, most commentators.
Hopefully this does well to clear the air, and as for Pyrocynical subreddit, I feel like you all need to do a massive background check on how some of you act, especially in regards to how many of you openly post furry in the subreddit with absolutely no consequence. Also,
what the fuck is that point? That makes no sense. Guys, you people are retards because you post furry porn on your own subreddit. Got you. Okay, is there a rule on the subreddit, like, you have to be like under 8, like you can be any age to join? I'm not sure, but if you said, be like, oh, there were kids in the subreddit, but they show porn, that would be a good point. But, from my knowledge, you have to be over 18 or whatever. But he didn't say that at all. So just being like, oh, you people are more crazy than me because you share porn. That's right. Like, if I was him, I would cut that out, because that's more funny than anything else. Okay, but apart from like all the really gay digs at Niall and the Pyro community, I think this video was pretty damn good. I really hope that this drama ends, because any people that believe, like after this day, after this video, they're just moronic, because all the evidence makes no sense and Dupe can't be fucking trusted at all. Like, also fun as well, like Parlo even showed that Dupe wanted to talk to Parlo again to apologize to him. So I don't think he should, right? I think this kid should fucking log off and never come back to the internet, because they're fucking scary and not mentally stable at all. So I think at this point, Parlo's career is saved 100%. The one thing, that might happen after this is that he finally uploads his Pyro, exposed video, which if that happens, like tomorrow or around this week, guess what? I won't watch it, because it's like such a very old drama, and odds are, like this point has been contested by Turkey Tom before in the past, and it didn't go that far, because like it's a iffy drama, like there are points to be made, but it's not like a severely bad one where he gets exposed and deplatformed. Like, it's bad, but not that bad. So if he uploads a video, I probably won't watch it because it might be bullshit in my opinion. That also because Parlo like actively pushed me away from the video because he never shut the fuck up about Pyro, not even once. With all that said, I think that was like a nice bonus gift on this drama. It went from like one video, two video to this third final one, from me. Or like, in general, it was like a crazy fucking journey. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. If there's any updates, they probably won't be because this response is pretty good. It was a nice, good airtight debunking, so I won't go any further. But regardless, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time with whatever else I cover. God knows. Love you guys.